Ladies and gentlemen, hi, and welcome back to Elysium. So as a quick rundown of what we did last week, I believe there were two main highlights. One, we figured out that our driving skills when drunk are not absolutely amazing, and two, we had a shave, and realised that we're just sad old men in this crazy world of ours. But that's okay. Now that we're indoors, we are away from prying eyes, so in theory, that white envelope from Everard Clare we should be able to forge.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope.
Interfacing. So we need to increase our interfacing skills. We've got some gloves for that. Not sure how yellow gardening gloves helps us with the forging of documents, but yeah, it's something. We'll give it a go.
You take the legal documents.
Okay, let's do this.
Envelope. The pen is shaking in your hand as you draw a pathetic little line.
Shit. Okay then. Well, in that case, keep drawing.
The line gets even shakier and starts to curve towards the bottom of the page.
Have I ruined the document?
No, it's just a line. Forgery obviously isn't your strong suit. Sorry for suggesting it. If you get someone to actually sign this, it should be fine.
Right, okay, well, I guess we haven't really solved anything there, have we? We're gonna have to get someone to actually sign it then. That is not what we wanted. We wanted to bamboozle Everard Clare. Oh well, never mind. Well, we've done all we can in here. Let's go out and see what Kim thinks about our shave. Maybe he might be impressed.
Yes?
So, point to your face. I've shaved.
Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps,
What is it? You could tell me, Kim.
I'm not really sure about this turn of events. I think the mutton chops might have been a better idea. They sort of seem to cover up some of the...
He stops.
Either way, good on you. You were saying?
Alright, well, okay, maybe not everyone's going to be a fan of lack of mutton chops. To be fair, I'm not a huge fan, neither, but we're trying to be clean and move on with our lives and improve the day-to-day. Oh, there's kids.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
You guys look identical.
The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated.
He looks just like me.
The other one says, yeah, I said that.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt.
You're bad with kids.
The lieutenant remarks with evident glee. We're not ideal, are we? And what are you, Kid Master General?
Maybe I am. Now, how about some actual police work? We are not getting anything here.
You must be Lillian's twins.
This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his worn-out sneaker.
Lily's our mum.
Explains the other one, tongue still lolling out of his mouth. I already said that.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. His head is too large for his shoulders. The other one laughs as well. Maybe there's some kind of reason why they're laughing. An interesting reason, somehow tied to the case.
What are you laughing about?
The boy stops laughing and looks at his toes. Oh, okay. So now he's shy. Now he's not talking. Just wobbling around like he's afraid of something.
We haven't got a great track record with kids in this game, have we? We haven't really broken through to anyone. Bye kids, take care. Yeah, we're not succeeding at anything around this part, are we? And if you just look at, oh, there's a blue box. And I shall just reach for the wall. Transcend my own mortal limitations. Yeah, there's coins. Nice. There's... Oh, excellent, more recycling. What are you on the floor? Can we pick you up? No, we can't. There's some friendly people down here.
You stop mid-step and put your hand on the garish necktie.
That bottle, Bratan! Just look at that bottle!
Where? Bottle what?
In this drunk's hand, on the pipe there. Glowing blue, a mysterious, otherworldly blue, filled to the brim with holy mysteries. It's hard to know what exactly your vivid interior is speaking of here, but I'm guessing it's got a lot of alcohol in it.
something that we've forsworn to solve the case in a sober kind of way. Okay, cool, what do I do next?
Oh, I think this is about so much more than cool. Please go talk to him. See what it's about. I'm drawn to it.
Well, if the horrific neckties isn't a good idea, it can't possibly not be a bad idea, can it? Grumbles, an unshaven man with a ruddy nose, his narrow eyes. He narrows his eyes at you, as if in recognition, then turns his head away.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man is strong and familiar.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail!
Who is Abigail?
Abigail. Don't you fucking call Abigail.
Never thought you'd see such a thing in your life. But this guy's a little too drunk.
I know the feeling. Who are you? What's your name?
Don't call Abigail!
He's like I am Groot, but sadder and drunker and slightly more stylishly dressed. Is that what do you call it? A Cossack? Or the things that spearmen wore in the medieval period. That thing. You know what I'm on about. You've watched Shadowverse, you know exactly what I'm on about. Where am I? What is this place?
The man hiccups, then mumbles something unintelligible.
I bet it's something to do with not calling a certain Abigail. Why shouldn't I call Abigail?
He snorts and beckons you to lean in closer.
Lean in.
Don't call Abigail. Don't call Abigail.
He then waves his hand as if shooing you away. Yeah, he's clearly not vibing, is he? Tell me about your friends, point to the others.
Don't you fucking call her. Hear me? Abigail?
Okay, well, clearly...
Don't call Abigail.
He whimpers softly, his voice trailing off into nothingness. Oh god, that's really sad. Okay then, Mr. Tracksuit Man, what's going on?
Hey, tequila!
A 30-something man clad in a two-piece Lycra trademarked tracksuit puts down his pilsner and extends his hand in greeting.
Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you?
Oh, shake his hand, we'll be polite.
So what's happening?
He picks up his beer. Wait, tequila?
Yeah, tequila sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
That's a cool nickname, to be fair.
I like this guy. You should too. He respects you by calling you your true name.
I'm not too hot. I'm on a 50-year losing streak.
That's harsh. I'm like 3 or maybe 4 years into mine. Wait, no. Make it 5.
He looks at his shit-stained Lycra trademark for grim expression.
Things aren't going super well for Idiot Doom Spiral either. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
He takes a sip from his beer.
Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high-concept conversation. At last.
I feel like Tequila Sunset and Idiot Doom Spiral are amazing budget Avenger heroes names. But yeah, Don't Call Abigail, Idiot Doom Spiral, Tequila Sunset. I wonder what this guy's called, but very, very negative superhero stuff. What do you guys do around here?
We are saving the world.
He looks at his comrades.
Please. Please don't call. Don't call.
I was right. We are saving the world. We are the Avengers. Excellent.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out.
That reminds me a lot of when I first started working in education. And long story short, education wasn't very fun for me. I didn't very much like it when I was in school. So I thought, no, when I grow up, I'm going to work in a school and I'm going to make it brilliant for everyone. And then, God, how long have I been teaching and teaching assistanting? About nearly 10 years? 10 years, actually. Yeah, exactly 10 years. Jesus, how time flies. And Yeah, you start with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. All I've got left is the creativity and a smidgen of willpower. No enterprise left, it's all iterative, but... God, being old is not great.
So now, it's a pirate's life for me.
Okay, could you and your pals sign this document? Show Everett's letter.
What's it about? I'll let my hand address the situation. Maybe you've heard. I used to be a very successful businessman. I've signed more than a few lease forms, or whatever the fuck they were. Anyone's got a pen? The pro's gonna do it.
No, unfortunately.
I got a freebie when I purchased a whole carton of cigarettes. Smoke cigarettes, get a free pen. Deals don't come any sweeter.
Oh, like way back when you used to be able to get a baseball card for a pack of smokes. Although that was never a thing in England, and it was never a thing when I started smoking. I started smoking cigars, believe it or not, when I was about 15 years old, because apparently it was really cool. And then obviously transitioned into the regular cigarettes.
The writing under the tiny crown logo reads, Royal Extra.
Thanks, Rosie.
He grabs the pen and paper from your hands and very carefully scribbles on a dotted line, Idiot Doom Spiral. I need at least 2 signatures on the document.
Hey, Abs! Hey, Abs!
Don't you? You call Abigail?
Oh, it's called Abs.
I need you to sign this document right here. It's important.
Don't call her.
His trembling hand catches the paperwork. He lays it out on his knee and starts writing, slowly. The handwriting is almost illegible due to his shaking hand.
Don't call Abigail. Great job, Abs. Nailed it.
He hands it back to you. I like that positivity. He knows he's not done a good job, but he's there for him, isn't he? I've been a great service to the village, to the RCM, and to Revachol.
Hey, guys. We're heroes.
He waves his hands erratically to the other guys.
About fucking time, man. I've done my duty.
He brings his hand up to his head for a salute.
Don't call Abigail.
He snorts and takes a swig from his bottle. The bottle is empty.
Thank you for your services, gentlemen. Should we go and mail these? I think I saw a mailbox on the plaza.
Absolutely. A few more questions first.
Okay, what's on your mind?
What is a tequila sunset? You keep saying it.
It's you. You're Tequila Sunset.
And how do you know this?
We've met before. Don't you remember?
No.
Aha. Do you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be?
Tequila Sunset. Something ominous there.
For some reason, the name tequila fills me with foreboding. Maybe I shouldn't learn what it means.
You think you feel bad now. Wait till you've heard the story.
Oh dear.
No. You need the wisdom.
Go ahead. I'm dreading this.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday. And by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth.
Was I alone?
Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting.
He takes another sip, then continues.
You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer. And that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
It is. Does that sound like something you'd do? Yeah, probably. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
My understanding of psychology is somewhat limited, but I do believe that kind of behaviour is called histrionic behaviour, where you pretend, well, not necessarily pretend, but where you display acts of being in pain or being self-hurting. What would the word be? You do negative things, or you appear slightly more negative than normal to get the attention of others. It's what happens when a lot of teenagers say that they're going to do something bad to themselves, but never actually do it. They're just like looking for someone to actually listen. Yeah, histrionic, I think that's what it's called. What happened then?
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling.
Oh, yes, you do, Bratushka! The only thing better than that is putting the pedal to the metal after you kiss the tie. And off we go!
Honestly, I have a quote of the horrific necktie in my classroom. Obviously, I've taken out all the swear words, but I've got a couple of his quotes on a display board, and he's just my hero.
One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in.
Naturally.
Anyway, there was a brief silence. A gasp of silence, if you will. Followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic.
Ah, yes, an alcoholic. The natural sprinters.
What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs, "The time hath come!" So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied, "The time hath come for tequila sunset, the end of all things."
Very dramatic. I like it. Say nothing. It's more dignified that way.
After which, your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal, plowed right off the jetty, and through the ice.
Your hands cramped on the steering levers.
We ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to.
What else was there to do? Thank you, brothers, for your helping hand.
We asked about the whole tequila sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on.
I like this. It's a community centre of alcoholics. Alcoholics not very generally pleasant to other people, but alcoholics know each other. Not that I've had experience in that or anything, obviously. Wait, so is Tequila Sunset an event or a name?
I'm not sure. I think you were the event. Tequila Sunset. You know, as opposed to a tequila sunrise, which is long gone.
Well, sadly, we are no longer Tequila Sunset. We're just Harry. My real name is Harry.
No, that's just what your mother called you. Your real name is Tequila Sunset. Just embrace it, brother.
And how long did we party for?
Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
Oh, come on, Kim, you're a little bit proud. Look at the progress we've made. We've had a shave and everything. Oh, we lost morale when he mentioned Revacholian women. Clearly, this is about the lady who our dreams told us about. Did I tell you anything about the this person that fucked me?
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
Please, don't open that door.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Abigail!
Oh no, he's definitely been messed up by Abigail.
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit.
That, to put it very bluntly, and mildly, I guess. Did I mention losing anything else?
Beside your gun and your badge? You said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one.
Hey, we haven't lost it, we know exactly where it is. Did I say anything about my colleagues?
You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style. No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show.
Did I say anything about the case?
Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
Well, we're not solo anymore when we've got our friend Kim, who's definitely proud of us. Did we talk about politics?
Yeah, you said that you'd really behaved unreasonably and failed to uphold your responsibilities as a representative of the coalition.
That sounds quite a reasonable, sensible thing to say when blind drunk. Did you get a read on what kind of cop I was?
You kept apologizing for being such a bad cop and for the damage you've inflicted on everyone around you.
That sounds like us.
You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temples, saying, "Stupid, stupid, stupid."
Ah, yes. Okay, I don't need to hear any more.
It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs.
Drink will help you with that. You seem like you seem like you're characterized by your storytelling ability. Want to tell me another one sometime?
Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? Better than a beach bum.
Yes, want to tell me about how you became Idiot Doom Spiral?
It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out?
The gleam in his eyes and the slouch in his posture is so incredibly familiar. You might get scammed here.
You want booze, don't you?
I don't want it, man. I need it. Can't tell stories without it. Dry stories are boring, you see? So, have you got anything for good old Idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me.
Oh, we've been collecting alcohol and not drinking it, finally. Enabling alcoholism. Morally dubious, but he's going to get it anyway. And yeah, okay, well that's... Oh, I've got this special strike brew that the Union uses.
Interesting. Ah, this is what they use to keep the working men going.
So not only is it strike brew, it's for a drink, it's also food as well, so we're kind of maybe sobering him up a little bit. Who knows?
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
One of the other bums interjects.
Don't call Abigail!
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder/junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm.
Go on.
I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane.
Did the jogging help?
It did. With my trusty Sansarik tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit.
He says thoughtfully, brushing dust off his shit-stained pants. What happened?
One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
He shakes the bottle and makes a ringing sound.
His eyes are clouded, his dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles. His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see? At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly.
Go on.
I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass.
Ouch.
Ouch indeed. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key.
Oh, you gotta be shitting me.
I wish I were, Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I'd taken the key to the office.
Okay, so what happened next?
I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best.
He pauses meaningfully.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
He takes a long swig of his drink. That whole story there, it's only a small thing, wasn't it? Forgetting your keys, and locks changing and being stuck out in a storm. But, from what I understand about alcoholism, it only takes a small thing, maybe like a thing that you wouldn't even expect to snap a man and break his thinking and his will. My dad was an alcoholic, and he never told me when he was alive how he became an alcoholic. Just that he drank to feel normal. And I guess that's kind of what these two are on about. I mean, he's the most normal out of everyone, realistically. Obviously, Don't Call Abigail's off his rocker. This guy's a little bit skew-whiff, but that's what like a borderline functioning alcoholic looks like, except without the job. You know, people can. I mean, it's very articulate, it's very intelligent, just drunk. Let's have a look. What options there are? Let's try and be polite. I'm almost homeless myself. Doesn't seem so. Oh, actually, no. Okay, let's go. I literally can't believe it.
Me neither, Tequila. When I lost my keys, I lost more than access to my apartment. I also lost my leverage over humanity. I wasn't a high-concept creative director anymore. I was just some homeless asshole with a premium Sansorique Lycra tracksuit. You can't imagine what that does to a man's confidence. Anyway, that was all the story one bottle gets you. Almost empty, this one.
Why do you keep losing all your stuff?
Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece lycra tracksuit? I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. But somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks.
I've just noticed that his artwork as well, I mean, a lot of other people's artwork, it's quite bold and clearly defined, but you can see with this guy, like, bits are being lost. There's, like, streaks on his face. It's like blue things coming out of his brain, which, yeah, it's just a nice little touch to show that he's losing his grip on reality. What was the name of your agency?
My agency, man. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was combining high art with the lowest forms of marketing. The color red, breasts, and oil painting. I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high-concept cultural incubator called Thin Air. The artists were happy, the clients were happy. I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing a new universal poetic language. But then it all went to shit.
He looks toward the bay. To be fair, yeah, no one asks for poetry. I've never gone to a party or a pub and someone says, "Oh, you know what we could do? Some spoken word." Man, mixing high and low, conforming culture. That's extremely No, we don't. That's so high concept, I have no idea what it means.
I know. It was fucking awesome. Until I went on a jog, unleashing a cascade of doom that washed it all away.
What's up with the tracksuit?
What? You've never seen 100% lycra before? Go on, feel that primo material.
The man extends his arm. We'll touch it.
Pretty nice, huh? This might be one of the last of its kind. Should probably be in a museum, honestly.
He takes another sip.
Good God. It's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. You feel about 15% less human for having touched it. Randomized trials have also found lycra, TM, to be associated with a number of exotic, highly malignant cancers. So you also have that to look forward to.
I appreciate that encyclopedia pronounces a TM like I do.
And then there's the smell. But you don't even want to think about that.
Wow, you're lucky. He never lets me feel it.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them any time.
But I might actually pop a morale pill just to not fall into absolute sadness. Now, what about the other drunks?
My fellow members of the Union of Moribund Alcoholics? They're exactly what they look like.
Hey, tequila! You want to buy some speed?
Yeah, well, we've apparently already got some.
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. He's a cop, remember?
I thought he was a cool cop.
Don't call Abigail.
And this is Abs. So yeah, that's basically us. We drink together.
And what's this about a lost jacket?
Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila?
Well, you can't really say no to that kind of request, can you? Doom Spiral needs a jacket and we are investigators. Okay, sure, where did you lose it?
If I knew where I lost it, don't you think I'd have it? I mean, maybe I was up by the boardwalk, or walking along the beach, or checking out the abandoned fish market.
That's a lot of places.
Somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask around, see if anyone's seen it.
Let me ask you about something else then.
I'm all ears, Tequila.
Right, okay, well, we've had enough stories, I think. We'll be seeing you.
You too, Tequila Sunset.
Okay, now what about you?
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy?
He spreads his arms as if wanting to embrace you. Good to see you too, friend.
So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. I also have speed. And by speed, I mean amphetamine.
See? There it is, Bratushka! The spirit! Let's buy the spirit! 300 real is a lot, but this has to be done!
300 real is something that's definitely not up in our budget, horrific necktie.
It's our end game!
Oh my god, we are the Avengers. It's the Avengers Endgame. We need to get that drink. How would we agree with him? This is the mystery and the truth, and I need to buy that spirit.
Exactly! This is no ordinary drink! It's what our relationship has been building towards all these years! This is the climax, the mystery, the virginal sigh! That drink is special!
I've never heard the term the virginal sigh being used in such a glorious term.
You have to buy it from him! Get it off him! Kill him if you have to! Our ultimate fate depends on it! And the fate of many worlds!
The lieutenant looks at you, looking at the bottle of spirits, then at Rosemary, suspiciously.
Well, clearly nowhere near buying that. Why does the bottle of spirits cost 300 real?
See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture.
Nod. Let him speak.
You know, it's funny, actually.
He bursts out laughing, then takes 3 gulps of his Pilsner and stares at you intently.
He's finding it difficult to focus his watery gaze.
What is?
What?
What do you mean, what? What did you think was funny earlier?
This guy.
He says and shakes his index finger at you. Where did the bottle of spirits come from?
Oh, this is medicinal spirits. The good stuff. Got it from the doctor's office.
He ain't shitting you! Medicinal spirits are a blast, Bratan! The flaming truth of this joke of a world!
I got one of those scientific ampoules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink.
He spits a nasty yellow clot on the ground before you.
Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go.
That's a good tip. I should remember it. Look, we're only saying this sarcastically. We don't actually mean it. We're off the alcohol. We're recovering alcoholics here.
It really isn't. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of help. Finally, the missus took me to a private doctor's office. Not a charity, the real thing. Those arseholes charged me 4 real to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all.
For removing it? Did you insert the bottle inside yourself? Is that what this bottle is? Just a phallic drinking vessel? Okay. How?
The idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what doctors use to preserve dead fingers.
He gets an excited gleam in his eyes.
Swipe 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila! What's left is this beautiful blue stuff. 98.7% almost pure alcohol. 2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for 3 real, if you want it.
Oh, 3 real.
Don't say it.
Well, shit, I mean, if it's going to reduce it to 3 real, I think will prove useful, yes.
3 real and it's yours, friend. The deal of a lifetime.
Well done. You got it.
Excellent. Here's the money for the spirits.
Just make sure to enjoy that one, friend.
Bratan, I I am so proud! Now, whatever you do, don't drink it! This deserves so much more than just regular oral consumption!
The tie is so on the money there. Up the bum it goes.
What? Oh no! Oh dear! This is. No, we are. But I don't want to put it up my bum.
Who said anything about putting it up there? No! We're gonna put it into a way more special place! So special! Just hang on to it! Keep it safe! Wait for my sign!
Soon. The time will come soon. Have patience, brave one.
Well, I'm excited to see what the horrific necktie has planned for this bottle of 98.7% alcohol. Okay, let's
In the
bounce.
civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shopkeep, friend. But come back anyway.
He waves you off. Okay, so we've got very strong alcohol. We've learnt things about ourselves. The fact that we don't want to shove bottles of alcohol up inside us. How can we enter a house? Nice. What have we got? You feel safe and warm in here, not like outside.
Hello, mister.
A young girl, barely 4 or 5, sits on the sofa. She's looking at you with frank curiosity.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
Are you Lillian's daughter?
Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom?
This is quite a drastic contrast to the conversation we were just having with the alcoholics. Yes, we met earlier.
That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything.
Are the twins outside your brothers?
Yes. They don't want to play with me. They're older and play outside. They look the same. Sometimes I can't tell them apart.
They look identical, right? I said the same thing.
They look identical.
He slowly processes the word and sniggers with laughter. What's that? Point at the stuffed bird hanging from the ceiling.
It's a grouse.
She yelps, smiling broadly.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you replace the broken skewer you almost certainly broke.
Oh, okay. Yes, but what is it? Oh.
I don't know.
Can I have it? I know someone who really likes stuffed birds.
Sure, just go and get it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry.
All right. You just need to grab it from the ceiling and go.
Wait, we'll just lift things from a child's house. What's that thing you're holding? Point at her toy.
It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like...
She holds the fuzzy beast up to demonstrate.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Oh, okay. Well, pleased to meet you, Lambie.
Lammy usually doesn't like strangers. But you're also fuzzy, like Lammy.
Well, we used to be fuzzier, but we're a changed man. Bye. Okay, goodbye.
Bye!
The girl's large, curious eyes remain fixed on you. Well, of course they are, as we manoeuvre around her house and just take a bloody grouse. There we go. We've got things. We've got stuff. We're moving up in the world. Can we look at it? Things to interact with?
You take the legal...
No, we don't have that. Items. No, we can't interact with you. Never mind then. Moving on. See what the world has in store for us. We're going to find a missing jacket. That's what we've got to find. For you. The rear tyre of the motor carriage adorns these reeds. Oh, I don't know how our motor carriage got over here, but we're washed upon the old shore. Quick travel unlocked. I didn't know there was quick travel in this game. Kick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere on the ice. What ice? Oh, it's a church. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. Yeah, this is the church that they mentioned earlier on.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Rattle the doors, see if they're open.
Nothing happens. only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door.
I don't think that's going to work.
Inspect the carpentry.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. 2 large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Run your hand over the beam.
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch.
Ah, the old moist wood, eh? Take a closer look at the padlock.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow.
Ah, okay, look at the sticker.
You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before.
Yes, modern. Have you seen the symbol before?
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
Very dramatic, I like that. What does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
Okay, what is junior delinquency?
For Revachol ZOC, the moral intern defined junior delinquents as minors between the ages of 10 and 16 who have committed an act in violation of the law. These acts aren't called crimes as they would be for adults. Crimes committed by minors are called delinquent acts. This was part of your officer's exams.
He puts the handkerchief in his coat pocket. What is suggestive of junior delinquency here?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
That's fair enough. I agree, it's very modern, but does the cheery guy not know he's dead? Or does the dead guy not care that he is? What is the source of the irony here?
That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
Alright, fine. Don't play conceptual conversations with us. Inspect the staple.
The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
Ah, this is where Mr. Prybar comes in handy.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment.
Should we start with the kick drum coming from the ice? I heard a sound before.
Yes, the pulsing bass. A sure sign of junior delinquency. Somewhere east of here.
Never e... Oh, okay, east is that way. Okay.
There's something on the sea ice there.
Alright then, let's inspect the drums. In case you've forgotten what our purpose is at this current moment, we are looking for the lady who was selling drugs and who was helping Classier avoid being caught by police and whatnot. Helped him do the fake hanging. He's somewhere around here. There's also a couple of points around here where the shot from the glass could have come through, so that's what we're actually doing, but we're just investigating everything. Why not?
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Ah, the old drug jacket. Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat?
Huh?
She looks up at you, distracted. I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I'm wearing a hat. I should, and I do, point at your hat.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan on staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
Oh no, this is what old people do. We look at young people being perfectly fine and normal and then say, oh, you should You should wrap up warm. That's what my grandma always said.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
Regain of... Should we give it a go? Oh, let's just be polite. Is that kind of language really necessary?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions now. What's your name?
Estelle.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
I sell who? I'm not a young suitor. This is official police business.
Okay, it's Berger.
You have little reason to doubt that's her real name, but she's not all that surprised by this cop show questioning, is she?
What's that device you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Nice. You could maybe bug someone with it. Wiretapping.
Oh, I actually had some non-mic questions. No, we don't want to know about the ins and outs of technical stuff, do we? What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what is it that you're recording, exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
Scratches the forehead. Wait, what happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
Ah. Men. Ugh, what are they like? What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
Thank you, Jama, for the snake pronunciation of suspicious. And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps?
The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
I'll just nod.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
Take this, you're cold.
The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Lieutenant backs up. He throws you a glance. Now, this is where a hat would come in handy. Oh. I like this hat. It gives us stuff. But we are being good people. Give her your hat. Here, you need this more than I do.
Thanks.
She puts it on. It's a bit large for her. You said it's supposed to be music... sorry. You said it's supposed to be a music place. What is?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Elysium or something. Stupid. It's really not going to be a Elysium, that's for sure.
The boys?
Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Stuff like what?
Music stuff, mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
You mean like those headphones your boyfriend stole?
Yep. They were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those.
Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
Aww. People aren't less expensive than things. Irreplaceable, I say. I had some other questions.
Go ahead.
Tell me more about this music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become, like, a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Elysium. Except that, yeah.
She looks at the old wooden church up on the poles. As a mean wind comes billowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek. But what is anhedonic dance music?
You know, anodic, cathodic, Music that's made with electronic instruments.
I got it. Now about the church.
What do you need to know?
So you want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, you two are cops.
Yes. Why do you ask?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
I'll talk to
They're
him.
inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
Did you put a padlock on the church door?
No,
No?
not really, no.
She's trying to get out of a direct lie with semantic tricks. She personally didn't put the padlock on the door.
Okay, if you personally didn't, then who did?
Yeah, you know, that's what I meant. Noid did. Noid put the padlock on the door.
Why did this Noid person put a padlock on the church door?
To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. It's got the worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about him, he'll tell you.
Enough about the church, then I had other questions.
Go ahead.
You seem surprisingly comfortable with being questioned. Why is that?
Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do.
We do, don't we? Mind if I question you some more?
Go ahead.
Alright, let's, give her a hat. Let's try and empathise with her.
Okay.
But let's see what clothes we have to help us with empathy. It doesn't seem like we have much. And empathy is meant to be our main thing. Ah, there we go, the Flash's jacket. That's what we need. But that's it. I don't know why the Flash's jacket makes it more empathetic, but we'll roll with it. We haven't got a replacement for the hat, but I don't want to walk around with this on my head. It doesn't quite fit the vibe that we're going for in this playthrough. Right, come on.
Hello again.
Right, empathy 4. The tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
Oh, Omicron, that reminds me of that disease that shall not be named. God, that was an awful time, wasn't it? I'm sorry I have to sit out here in the ice feeling miserable, at your age, or at any age, in this weather, waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended it to be better for you, but they have failed. It's easy to live in their failure with this by your side. Tap to the tape recorder.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It is not a childish fantasy. Be a real weapon against what's coming for you now.
What is?
Nothing. You've got this. Don't be... Oh, Jesus. The dark. No. Nothing. If you've got this, don't be scared.
Okay, I'll stick to it. So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
You said eating me. There's nothing eating me.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boy Adero about it if you want to.
I guess there is something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
Oh, God. We were meant to be empathising with her, and now she's empathising with us. People just keep putting their selfish interests up. There's no neutral... we want to remain neutral and impartial to everything. People are just putting their selfish interests up ahead of the greater good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no one understands that sometimes you've got to make sacrifices for the sake of progress. It's all very distressing.
So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress?
No, that is not what I meant. No, that's probably not it, is it?
No, it sounds like you just got chick issues.
Oh, don't bring... Revacholian women, stop bringing them up. We're not built to deal with this. You could be right, but I don't know for certain.
Well, think about... Anyway, Was there something else?
No. Let's extricate ourselves from this situation. And put back on our cool jacket, yeah. We've got kind of a Tom Waits kind of vibe going on here, I feel. I feel like as if we should be smoking a lot more and talking in a husk voice. Okay, let's go into the tent.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
We'll squeeze in.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
He gestures for you to squeeze in. Okay, alright.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Bleach tips.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Never trust a man with bleached tips. What was it? God, it was like the thing that boy bands used to in the early noughties and late 90s. I think, was it Justin Timberlake who was famous for it? Or they have really curly hair? I can't remember. I'm too old for this. Shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is known as Nordic music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
And why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
As do all the youth these days. What's have you wanted? Your friend Asil, Asael, or however one pronounces any words in the world, said there was a problem with the church.
Ah, so you've met her. Good.
He nods.
Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
Yes, ecclesiastical property. It's quite an articulate young man, actually, even for the bleach tips. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads!
Do like Egghead's artwork. Very inspiring.
Burnouts.
He angrily spits on a screw, then starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that! The world!
I do like their enthusiasm.
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Oh, opinions. What kind of opinion?
The spooky kind.
What exactly do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
And as we know from our Warhammer games, the Ecclesiarchs are not in the mood for The defilement of holy property. I'll look into it. Tell me more.
All right, man.
He clapped his hands enthusiastically.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
I see you'll tell me Noid put a padlock on the door. Why?
I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Oh, so there's people inside and you've locked them in. For how long? For how long have they been deprived of water and a toilet? I need the key.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
The speed freak drips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden, cool infused move, tossing it in your general direction. Let's try be the cool cop. Catch the key as it flies towards you.
You sense the
Oh!
trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left.
Excellent. So just like the dice earlier on. Oh, yeah, we'll catch it.
Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly.
Thanks, man. Play it cool.
The speed freak nods to you. A respectful nod. You proved something here.
Damn right we have. How long have those people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
Jesus. How can you be sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
So he admits to. Oh god, what is the to be done for something like involuntary manslaughter, or voluntary manslaughter even? You've got to at least know that there's a chance of your actions taking the life of someone, even if it's not what you intend to. 85% is not good enough when you're dealing with another person's physical well-being.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, shit, saying so, that makes it fine then, doesn't it?
I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in like that.
Me too. I shouldn't have that kind of power over another person. I'm not the one with the violence monopoly here. You are. I'm glad that key is out of my hands now.
Alright, fair enough, not to go into politics there. Right, other questions.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
You mentioned some kind of ecclesiasts owning the church. Who are these ecclesiasts?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Okay, demagoguery. Mask it. Now, hear me, Andre. What is the founding party?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation.
And?
And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no?
Now, Andre, in your opinion, would this ancient religious organisation who anoints the innocents want a club for God, words are hard. Anodic music in one of their churches?
Totally.
There isn't a trace of doubt in his voice.
The Pericarnassian Church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance.
He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it.
Love is hardcore.
Hardcore.
Unity.
Unity.
Unity. Bottle of water.
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
He turns the volume up and looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters.
No words. Enjoy the beat. Nod your head.
Feels good.
Damn right it does. I guess love can be pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah, it can.
He's coming around. You're getting it.
Damn right we're getting it. We're down with the kids. I understand if it was lame of me to suggest otherwise. Anodic music is about love, and so is the Pericarnassian Church. Why is that word so hard, so easy to pronounce, but not anodonic? Anyway, proceed.
Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
Oh, what was that song? By... Oh, was it Scooter? In that one song, Siberia, the place to be. That was a good song.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
His friend forms a fist with a screwdriver in his hand, approvingly, sir.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving.
Yeah! Let it out! Let the disco happen! Bring the disco into this world! Get this church shit on, and then dance there, motherfucker!
All right, well, I guess we're going to be dancing then. I wanted to ask you about this tent full of... Actually, no, we don't. This
As
is...
always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
Yeah, we've got all we need for me, I think.
Wow, so someone's been a little boring.
What?
Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown.
Well, we are not boring. We are recovering alcoholics. What is this? Picking on me for not being crazy enough. That's the least of my concerns.
No need to be defensive. The regularity, the brownness, the cut and dry have their appeal. A very standard appeal.
I like standards.
Of course you do. Maybe some regulations and a usual pistol to go with them. It's official. My lord's copper type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax.
What? Of course I'm a regular cop. I'm trying to do regular cop things. Oh, why not? Send out telefax then. I'm not ashamed.
Done and done. No actual communiques will be sent, of course. That would be too dramatic.
Well, clearly drama's not on our side, is it? Okay then, we've got a new thing. Regular law enforcement. Okay, so it looks like you've got a bit of the normal in you. A touch of the regular. 4 grams of Johnny Normal Cop. Who would have thunk it? You, the extremist of all cops. You said some pretty boring things back there, and I have 2 choices. You can either leave it behind and forget about it, or you can try to utilise your normalcy. Internalise it. Get a touch of vanilla back in the herring flavoured egg and licorice ice cream of your mind. Damn right we will. When we can unlock thing. Or can we forget something? I'm not... I mean, indirect modes of taxation. What's it? It gives us -1 empathy. And ultra... This is not going good for us, is it? We're not really learning much from this. I would like to be a regular official. We will have -2 Inland Empire while we're researching it, but we haven't really used that skill for much, have we? Oh, we don't have enough skill points. Well, in that case, sod ya. We will learn you at a later date. Let's bounce. I want to know what's going on in that church. And that music, while very tasty and modern, it's not quite Sabaton. That's the only band I really listen to. I don't really listen to music anymore. I've got a degree in music. I'm an audiobook kind of guy now.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you.
Alright, let's try to peel off the sticker without ripping it.
Ornamentation. There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Shake it off your thumb and throw it to the wind.
Au revoir, sticker.
Open the padlock with the key.
The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
I pull open the doors.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. It's black holes and dusty machines. Then the feeling passes. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
Gosh, that's beautiful, that. Wonderful bit of mural stuff going on. Strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. Okay, alright, we shall walk. blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. Two decks of reel-to-reel tapes spinning on empty. Portable Harman Wowshi tape recorder. Someone siphoning electrical currents from outside. This is into this antenna. It's very imposing. This. I feel very much like this. Can we look around? No, we can't see the full thing. Let's talk to it.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day.
Oh, we did a quiz where Dolores Day was the answer to everything. Apart from it wasn't.
Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
Let's kneel.
Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass.
Let's get religious. Do we close our eyes or do we look up? I want to get a better view of this. Let's look up.
The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive.
Oh, it could be all things. Is it compassion? What kind of face we got on here? It's sad. It's remorse. It's mourning. It is mourning, isn't it?
As that terrible word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
Do the same as you get up.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
This is Dolores Day.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records.
You knew of the place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
What else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
Looks like machinery lying around.
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism?
Kim, are you a follower of DeLoreanism?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin.
Stroke your chin first.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
I didn't think you were spiritual.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Oh, so it's kind of like a political religion? Question mark. Okay, how did I know this is the mother of humanism?
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
Well, as I remember from doing that quiz a couple of episodes ago, Dolores Day was the one of the innocences, and the innocences are just basically people who are like really, really good people. When they're identified as innocents, they get all this power and stuff, and they're never questioned and all that jazz. What else do I know about her?
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court. the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene la Navigateur, Queen of Serene, modern-day Sir Laclais. Also that she was gorgeous beyond beauty, draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under a long, slender form like this, dwarfed?
Yes! Big bummer! Boring history! Gotta keep it light, man! Keep it moving! Get fucked up instead!
Don't you worry, Horrific Necktie. We're already down and out. We can't get any lower than this. Where is this coming from?
The past. It's a silo of sadness, fermenting. You should keep away.
Fuck this pain, Bratan! It's unhealthy!
No, you must know.
Damn right we must know. That's the only way to heal. It's going to be difficult, but we'll get through it. Okay, what else? Was she smart?
Terribly. Women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state. A scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous.
How come?
It was on her advice that Irene la Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history. The DeLorean era.
Wow.
Wow indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Riel Belt.
Okay, well, a miracle nonetheless. I want more.
As did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even far away Supramuindi, altogether 21 of the 40 Mundial nations of the time, immediately accepted Innocentic rule, even before her crowning.
Her crowning?
In a city called Advesperaskit in Vespa Messina, her homeland. The name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt.
She must have been beautiful.
Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by secret servicemen.
Then what?
One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human.
What?
But something else. Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves, The man was reported to have screamed at the innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology.
So it's ironic that she had the glowing lungs and whatnot, and she was shot in the chest. Well, maybe not ironic, maybe just a cruel twist of fate. Also, I've just noticed how I'm focusing a lot on the artwork in this episode, but how Encyclopedia has got a book for eyebrows. Never noticed that before. Was there something terrifying about her?
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But terrifying, it's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her.
No, was there something bad about her? I want to know.
You already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day. Constantly surrounded by her terriers, she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs.
What happened?
The Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity, suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacentic, mare interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her. This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Lieutenant Yefrater, you've stood there for over 5 minutes.
Lieutenant's calm voice echoes in the cold air of the church.
What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
So, not only is she... I suppose it's kind of a bit like Jesus in a way, in the sense that... Well, not necessarily Jesus, because Jesus himself never raised a sword to anyone. I mean, yeah, fair enough, he went to the church and whipped out all the money exchanges and whatnot, but... Still something quite terrifying about having someone so perfect and so intelligent about on the planet. Although, there was no resettlement, there was no army of the... he always accepted everyone for what it was. And I'm not a hardcore Christian or anything. I wouldn't even describe myself as a Christian. I just think Jesus was pretty rad for what he was. What are we thinking? That... Of all things, she's still beautiful.
That she is. A great sacred piece. I wonder what we are doing here, however.
He takes the glasses off to clean them.
In this church, I mean. The coast in general. We shouldn't linger. This isn't a good place to get lost in.
Visual calculus. Reconstruct the cracked glass.
The shards glimmer in the dark. You see little pearls of light on the edges of the crack that splits the female figure. Something was written there. Remains of broken letters line the emulsion. What it said, you do not know.
Alright then.
Hey, her innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers, remember?
What?
You have the headless Fallen Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back.
What? Look around. Win who back? I can't win her back. She's a long dead historical figure.
Don't be so pessimistic. Love doesn't die that easily. This isn't funny. You have a bad feeling about this one.
I know. Every time Inland Empire tells we've got a bad feeling about something, I feel like as if we need to press on with it. I should, yes. This is a task of mine now.
So very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. This is surely what the figurines are for.
We give her the figurine?
The mother of humanism stands above you. A precious and complex wax painting on a single pane of glass. A crack runs across the length of her body, her face oval and sad.
Looks like I can't give this figurine to her.
Why?
Because she's a stained glass window.
That does seem to be a problem. Maybe you meant something else?
Like what? Is the task still on?
I don't know. What are we thinking of? Part of your mind has gone on to other things already. Only a strange little sadness remains. The mother of humanism, Tao.
Alright, okay, well, alright, cheers, reaction speed. I guess we'll not give the painting a figurine. What are you, Box? Oh, you're like the thing in the
A
D&D
machine
place.
stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Don't like this music, it's quite ominous.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
He seems cautious around the machine.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yes, but the machine looks just like the one in the doomed commercial area.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
He inspects the machine's framework, careful not to touch anything.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Fell mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer.
Wait, let me just investigate it. Step behind the computer.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed.
Look inside the compartment.
Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater.
Press play.
The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Of course. That voice seemed quite familiar there. Fortress accident, like the one in the doomed commercial area.
I have two machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brune, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brune, that's the church. And Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, that's the doomed commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with?
I looked inside the core, but the tape on the filament just said log Feb Mar.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
Fair enough. I don't know the password.
Received. I will write Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Thanks, I'm finished with this call. Press off and silent.
Goodbye, Fortress accident.
She says as her voice disappears into a whirl of static.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons.
Let's press the print button.
Nothing happens.
Well, okay then, mainframe. We'll leave you alone. Yeah, no point in guessing the password. We're not going to achieve anything there. Although we do have some potential goodies over on this side. Some coins. Excellent. Some shoes. To increase our empathy. We like being empathetic. Ah, good old brogues. speaking of brogues, I don't know if any of you guys are into rap music at all, but there's one kind of genre of rap called chap hop. And there's a wonderful rapper called Mr. B, the Gentleman Rhymer. And he has a rap song all about brogues and shelters and the proper shoes that a gentleman should wear in proper gentlemanly situations. I would highly recommend. Obviously, it's humour. The bowl is full of water. A live wire runs directly into it. That's a bit unusual, mixing electricity with water. But yeah, if you're a fan of rap, type into the old YouTubes. Gentleman B. Mr. B, the Gentleman's Rhymer, brogues. It's honestly, it's a huge vibe.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. You can hardly hear your own breathing.
Yell as loud as you can.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers.
Stomp your feet and clap your hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
Turn to Kim. What's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Almost nothing. It's beginning to worry me.
The church just has strange acoustics, some engineering trick.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its premises.
Ooh, this makes me think of, oh gosh, what's it called? When I was at university studying music, we did a lot of study on acoustics. And I had a choice between doing a performance module or a sound technician module. And because I hate talking to people 9 times out of 10, I did the not performance module because you got to like talk to people and rehearse and shit. And I don't need that in my life. And we learned something called a how does one say it? A anechoic chamber, which you've probably seen them in maybe films or media. It's a room basically where there's loads of foam, there's loads of jagged bits, there's lots of things on the walls to make sure that there is absolutely no sound bouncing off anything whatsoever. So when you go into the room, there's just no echo, there's no reverb, there's no nothing. And if you're talking to someone and they're 5 feet in front of you and they start talking, your brain thinks to yourself, right, there's no reverb or anything, but I know this person is 5 feet in front of me, so it will sound like it's 5 feet in front of me. But if you turn the lights off and that person starts speaking, it sounds like they're right in front of you, which is just a really cool thing. Anyway, diatribe aside, let's go with what is this? Whatever it is, it's definitely real. Something odd is happening around us.
The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you.
Look up into the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Perception. Try to see beyond the shadows. God, this is a tall building, isn't it?
Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin.
What's the darkness like?
Filled with vague shapes of woodwork. The sense of a great height. It's like you see your own face reflected back at you in the vanishing geometry. A strange, alien image that's supposed to be you.
Try to make something else. Anything.
There's nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented as you see dark and more dark rising.
Officer, what are you looking at?
You follow your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is you are seeing. Blink. Oh.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you. with dark eyes.
My goodness, this is definitely an Avengers episode. We've got Spider-Man up in the rafters. That is a Spider-Man pose if I've ever seen one.
Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
I don't like this. Taking a bit of a horror element to this game now.
Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive and is now studying you intently.
This is the police. Show yourself.
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
Holmes? Have we got Mexican Spider-Man on our hands here? The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
You know what? Thank you, electrochemistry. You've been the one that wants me to take all the alcohol and drugs and stuff, and now I feel like as if as the game progresses, electrochemistry will be more and more on our side. Let's go with. I'm a policeman. I need to talk to you about police things. I don't know anything about alcohol use.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here.
Look, we have got a bottle of 98.7% alcohol in our back pocket right here, and we're not even planning to drink it. We're not even planning to shove it up our backside. That's how dedicated we are to not being alcoholics. I'm doing just fine, thank you. Actually, no. Okay, fine. I'm struggling. But you don't need to lecture me. I know what I need to do.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc Albino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
Yeah, we're definitely Mexican Spider-Man here.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
What is this, indeed? How would one describe this? Let's adjust our tie. Let's get the tie involved in this. Who do you think you are? Some kind of crazy guy on the roof? What is this shit?
It doesn't matter who I am, Way. I'm just bringing you the message of the mother's love. She don't want you to hang yourself on your own stubbornness.
His words echo in the cold air of the church.
This is the church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? 'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Do you know where the other spooker is? Point at the strange machines around you.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
I used to know a French person way back when, and he would do exactly this. He would start saying something in French, then end the sentence with something in English, and it's like, look, I appreciate you talking in your mother tongue. It doesn't help me here. If you're saying things in French, I don't know what you're talking about. Ugh.
Viejita is grandma?
Wait, so there is another person living in the church, and it's a Vietra.
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
And you don't know where she is?
That's what I said, Holmes.
How can you not know that when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
You've got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does, or who she is?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
He shrugs.
Or search through her radio computer.
Well, we've attempted to search for the radio computer, but we don't know the password. Have you seen, by any chance, had Vieta say the password to a radio computer?
Too many times, Essay. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Okay, I'm doing a survey of passwords and passcodes, identifying regional trends, in the interest of public safety, of course.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death.
That is true. But what comes after death?
What you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita Pequeña when I hear it.
Okay, where did you come from?
Up there, Holmes.
He smiles strangely and turns his head up to look into the darkness of the church tower. Are you human? You aren't moving like a human.
I am. At least in part, Holmes. Until the mother's love burns away the cruel distinctions of the body.
You sound like you're not from around here.
Haven't you ever met a Mex before? Cabron. Surprising number of us around Rabashaw.
And it's great. Such diversity is a boon to the economy.
Not sure I'm contributing to the economy none, Holmes.
Hey, are you a... Boadero? Ah, well, at least you're human. That's a relief.
Glad you're feeling more comfortable. First-timers are always nervous.
Okay, I've got other
The
questions.
sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
Some ravers once turned this place into a nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Think they scared of me.
Do they have a reason to be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
Anymore? So what do you think about the nightclub, that is?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
And what are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it. For purposes of veneration. I circled it. Nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
This mother of silence, you mean her? And we point at the window.
No. There's a new god in town. And she can be painted or sculpted. Because she has no limb or even a face. She is the end. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me. But I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes. And no one ever will.
His adoration is beyond sexual. This cavity is something that no human form has.
And what will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
We know nothing about substitutions or behaviour. We're not footballers. You sure you don't want to... sorry. You sure you didn't just switch one drug for another?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you. To his very own self.
Let's agree to disagree.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
I still don't understand what you're doing in the church.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
Can you sing for me? Sing for me something.
I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what you're thinking. And the song I sing is silent as the mother.
Well. Oh God, what was it? John Cage. who did that song, 3 minutes 43? Which is a song with 3 minutes and 43 seconds of complete and total silence. Another thing to YouTube later on. I think it's John Cage who did it. Was it John Cage? Maybe. Anyway, how did you even find this place, this church?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me.
Still want to know how this guy, who hasn't eaten or drank anything for 7 days, has survived. As of course, even up in the rafters, is able to exit the church for food and water. Are these your shoes lying here? Show him the red brogues you found.
I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skins to get closer to the center of the silence. You could have them. I don't need them anymore.
Well, I've already claimed them. They're on my feet now. Right, I had other questions.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
You've been here a long time. Do you know why the church was abandoned?
Police raid a while back.
He responds, his voice suddenly flat.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
But what we've learned through this journey is that forgetting about things is not necessarily the best way to heal ourselves, young Tiago. Okay then, thanks.
I think we're done here, Essay.
The figure crawls off into the darkness above.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation.
It's not. We'll be honest, it's not. Cool. Okay then, right. I think we've talked to Mexican Spider-Man. We've talked to a load of other Avengers. We've learned about ourselves. We've learned about Mother Mary over yonder. Still, we'll call it there. If you want to support the old channel and have a look at the Patreon, £1 a month just get you one extra Dawn of War game a week, as the usual stuff is. Mine's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure's always, never sure. I'll see you in a bit. Peace.